everyone. So today we are going to be reading a book called That's What Happens When It's Springtime, written by Elaine W. Good and illustrated by Susie Shank. So just from looking at the cover picture, why do you suggest that it's springtime? What would you possibly change about the illustration to make it winter, fall, or summer? Today, I wonder when it is spring. Mommy takes my hand. Come, I'll show you. Out in the flower bed, tiny green knobs are peeking out of the ground. That will be a tulip, and it's crocus, Mom said. That's what happens when it's springtime. Daddy and I find little green things pushing up through the brown grass in the yard. Daffodils, Daddy tells me. That's what happens when it's springtime. We go to the meadow to check the willow trees we planted last summer. They look all brown and dead. Then I spot a baby green leaf on one branch, and another, and another. Oh, they're alive! That's what happens when it's springtime. My neighbor Betsy and I ride my tricycle. We take turns coasting down the barn hill. It feels good to play outside. That's what happens when it's springtime. My sister Caroline sees skunk cabbage flowers in the meadow on her way home from school. That's what happens when it's springtime. So what specific details can you infer about skunk cabbage flowers? I wonder if they actually smell like skunks. Daddy plows the garden. I dig in with Michael. We use his backhoe and my skid loader and dump truck. We get all dirty. That's what happens when it's springtime. Daddy and I take away the mulch we had over the rubber last fall. Lots and lots of teeny red bumps are coming up. That's what happens when it's springtime. Tonight, after his evening chores, my brother David and I go fishing. I hold the rod a long time, but nothing happens. So I give it back to David. Just as I walk away, he yells, "I've got one!" He hands the rod to me again, and I carefully reel in a rainbow trout. That's what happens when it's springtime. This morning at breakfast, Daddy surprises me. Guess what? We have a new calf in the barn. I eat my breakfast quickly so I can go see the new baby. Daddy walks carefully into the stall so he doesn't scare the mother cow. She looks at us, moos softly, and goes right on licking her new calf. We name her Lilac because she was born when the purple blooms were bursting. That's what happens when it's springtime. Michael and I dig in the warm, soft dirt under the swings. Then Mommy calls me for a story at nap time. "Look at your dirty pants," she says. "Let's take them off." That's what happens when it's springtime. On the day before Easter, Mommy cooks some eggs, and we all help paint them. That's what happens when it's springtime. Our family goes for a walk in the woods. We hunt wild flowers, spring beauty trout, lilacs, Henbit and violets. My sister Christine surprises a frog at the edge of a little pool. That's what happens when it's springtime. After my nap this afternoon, Mommy and I walk through the meadow. Mommy has a dashpan and a knife so she can cut dandelion plants. We will eat these for supper, she says, when I spy with a thin, wavy leaf. I taste it. I decide I would rather pick the dandelion flowers. Have you ever had dandelion flowers for supper? That's what happens when it's springtime. Yesterday, I was planting corn under our big maple tree. When I went into the house for my disc, Mommy said, "You look hot. Let's take off your sweatshirt." This morning, I went outside without my sweatshirt, but soon I came back. Today, I want my jacket. The wind is cool. Funny thing though, the sun just came out, and now I'm hot again. That's what happens when it's springtime. Today I wonder, when will summer come? After Daddy's birthday and after David, Caroline, and Christine are out of school. Mommy smiles. I can't wait. I love summer. What will happen when it's summer? In the end. So after reading this book, what details from the story do you see that specifically showed it was spring? How could you differentiate between the seasons spring and fall after reading this book? Just a few questions to think about after you're done reading.